Hey guys, welcome to the Real Deal Video blog. And today I want to start by asking you, do you ever feel tense? Do you feel anxious or on edge? Does it happen to you at work? Or, maybe it might happen in social situations. You get nervous talking in front of people or meeting new people. Do you find that you get nervous easily in general? If so, I'll tell you something obvious. You're experiencing some anxiety and you might benefit from some relaxation. Now, the good news is that anxiety isn't usually fatal. Now, I said usually. It's definitely an unpleasant thing, and feeling anxious all the time can definitely be a problem. That's definitely a warning sign, but it's normal to get nervous about things once in a while. And if you've made it this far in life, you've probably learned to cope with your anxiety in one way or another. But if you're newly in recovery, you're part of a special group, and anxiety can be a major problem for that group. Newly sober people aren't this group of people that they can say, we're feeling anxious, and you can say, just deal with it to them. That's not a solution that works. And that's because this is a group of people that has basically one way to deal with things, and that's going back to drugs and alcohol, and obviously that's what we're trying to get away from in the first place here. So if you're new in recovery, learning to deal with anxiety is a very, very important skill for you. And one really good way to deal with anxiety for a lot of people is to find some kind of release. And release can take many, many different forms. It's something that looks different for everyone, but generally in life, everyone needs some kind of an outlet. So maybe you like to listen to music. Maybe you like to play music. Maybe you like to go out for a jog or go to the gym or just go for a walk and experience nature or experience the city if that's where you live. Maybe you're into prayer and meditation and deep breathing. These are practices that are really, really common among recovery groups. And sometimes, maybe for you, the best thing is just to talk things over with someone, call up a friend or family member or chat with them over coffee. As long as coffee doesn't get you even more anxious, of course. There's no right answer here. That's the whole point. And whatever works best for you is probably the best thing for you. No one can tell you how to live your life. The important thing is that feeling of anxiety is dealt with. There's another really obvious avenue to pursue if you've got a lot of anxiety in your life, and that's creating a relaxing environment around you. Believe it or not, small stuff like having a messy apartment or living around people who are disruptive and obnoxious, that stuff can do a lot of damage to kind of your baseline level of anxiety, baseline mental health, and stuff as simple as cleaning up or avoiding certain people, stuff that's really easy to do that doesn't take long, can make a huge difference. I mean, who can really relax if everything is chaotic and out of control? And especially if you're someone who has a job that might have a lot of stress. The home is someplace, or if not the home, somewhere else. But you need somewhere where you can come and feel comfortable and relax a little bit. So this is all good stuff that I've gone over so far, but sometimes it's not quite enough, and it just doesn't get you there, and you still can't relax. You've got anxiety, maybe you have panic attacks, maybe you have really severe social anxiety, and at this point I urge you not to give up because there's still things that we can try. A lot of people use something like counseling or talking to someone in a professional sense to deal with anxiety issues. There's no shame at all in seeking professional help and talking things over with someone. Lots of people do it. It's very common, totally normal to do something like that. And sometimes medications can be necessary to treat certain mental health things like anxiety. Of course, you need to be careful here because some medications can be very easily abused, and we're trying to get away from the whole abusing drugs and alcohol thing. But sometimes the right thing for mental health is medical care in the form of medication, and that's totally okay. So if it's necessary, talk to your doctor about what might be right for you. my whole point with all of this here is that stress and anxiety can be really, really dangerous for anyone really, but especially for someone who's early in recovery. It's very, very important to find a good way to deal with all of it. Sometimes it's easy and you can just make a couple lifestyle changes and you're good to go, the stress is gone. And other times, as we've seen, it takes a bit more than that. At the end of the day, you have to make a choice based on what works for you.